Welcome into the January 9th, 2017 episode, Finishing Forks Golf Podcast. I am your host, Jack Swisher, joined in again by Sean Paul.
Hey.
And Chris Villa.
Hello.
I'd like to give a shout out to our newest full member, Matt Villa, helping us out with producing and editing.
Hey,
okay, there we go.
It's Monday.
Yeah, it is.
It feels like a Monday.
It does feel like a Monday.
Yeah, it
Jack's
is Monday.
acting like it's a Monday.
It is a Monday.
Yeah.
So,
well,
yeah, we and Sean walked 7 holes today, so.
I thought we weren't going to bring that up.
Yeah,
I'm slightly embarrassed about it.
Why'd you guys stop?
Because I was way too tired.
7 holes, man.
Yeah,
we were supposed to get props for walking 7
right?
holes.
Exactly.
We had our sights set on 9, and we almost made it.
We almost made it to 9, but we
Yeah.
did not. It was tough sledding out there. I'd like to thank you guys all for listening again. If you're here, that means you either liked the first one, didn't hear the first one, and are going to go back and listen to the first one again. But thank you for coming in. Hey guys, how was your weekend?
I had a fantastic weekend.
Yeah?
I worked a little bit, gave a few lessons here and there, went and saw a lovely movie on Saturday.
What'd you see?
What?
It was definitely my choice. I went and saw Manchester by the Sea.
What?
Manchester by the Sea.
Well,
Any good?
It was fantastic. I thought it was really good. Definitely wouldn't have been my first pick.
did you go by yourself?
No, I didn't go by myself, Jack. Are you one of those guys that goes to movies by yourself?
No, I used to all the time. No problem.
I'm kind of jealous of those guys. I can't do it. But no, I did not. Thank you.
All right. Chris, how about you?
I watched a lot of sports.
A lot of
A lot of football.
It was a good weekend.
I chimed into the golf when I could. I recorded Thursday's episode, but watched it Friday, so I felt a little behind. But I caught up on the weekend. But I did fall asleep on the last 3 holes on Sunday.
Come on now, Chris. That was when. Wait, was that when Justin Thomas made big numbers?
The
meltdown.
The epic club toss?
I saw the epic club toss. That was the last thing I saw.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
I switched it back over to the Green Bay game, and then I passed out during that.
You did have college football. And was there some college football, or was that
That's
NFL football playoffs?
As we are doing this, there's a national champion being
championship.
crowned.
Shows you how much
I don't know
we
who
care
it
about
is.
those teams.
Yeah, we're not paying attention to that.
I'm not really paying attention.
All right, perfect.
So I myself went to a New Year's Eve party this weekend.
Jack, it's January 9th.
Yeah, no, I went on January 7th. There was a New Year's Eve party on January 7th.
Okay.
Let me kind of fill you in why. Me myself, I married with 2 kids, beautiful 4-year-old boy and a 2.5-year-old girl. But when you're a parent, you don't really, get to do all the things that you maybe used to do. Maybe you guys.
I've heard stories.
Yeah, Sean and Chris, single, ready to mingle. So, you don't
all
always
times.
get those. So when you have a group of parents that like to hang out, you don't always get to do it on New Year's Eve because everyone else is doing it. So you take it when you can get it. So we had a nice little New Year's Eve party. Let me tell you something about when you go to a party with parents that don't have their kids. The look of relief that they have on their face is incredible. You see those same parents at Monday morning drop-off, and the look of stress and confusion and tiredness, it is all there. But you go to a party where there's no kids, same people, and it's like you're at a sandals resort. Everyone's just relaxed, ready to go, ready to party. So that's kind of what I.
Was there a ball drop?
No, for sure. Yeah, there was a countdown on TV. We had streamers.
Tell me you guys just replayed the New York New Year's Eve.
DVR'd it?
Oh no,
Yes,
no.
played by
There's
DVR.
literally a channel that you can go to, and it plays that kind of stuff.
See, are these channels that you get when you become a parent? Because I've never seen
I've
these
never
channels.
seen that. Yeah.
Apparently, you just flip through in the middle of the night when you don't have your kids. It's amazing that when parents get together, they even talk to each other. Because I'm good with just enjoying the silence. You know what I'm saying? Like it.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So also when you're parents having a good time, there was about 20 of us. Almost everybody had kids there. It's a hard charge. There is no pregame. There's no warm up.
Like drinking like you've never seen alcohol before.
Yeah, kind of.
Just like it's your first time.
It's kind of like you escape from prison, but you're gonna get caught again. So you just gotta go as hard as you can until that moment where you're caught again. So. Shout out to Ben and Kimberly who had us over. That was a great time. I would recommend any single people go and hang out with your parent friends.
I was just going to ask that. Do you think it's a parent, or do you think it's a party that me and Chris should go to?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Okay. If you want to have a good time, but it's got to be a short window because you only got the babysitter for so long.
I feel like it's not the best place to meet women. For me and Chris.
No, this is just for fun.
Okay.
This is just to have a
Okay.
good time.
I'm okay with that.
Single, but leave your mingling at home. You go and take
You
that somewhere
go
else.
and mingle in those parties and things can go real south.
Yeah, but don't worry. Those parties are over like 9.
Okay.
So to
It's
just
like
go out afterwards.
It's a pregame party.
It is. So for the single people, it's a pregame party.
Your
For the
party is
parents.
our pregame.
Yeah, and
All right.
I won't know when the party's over.
Makes a lot of sense.
Because we're just going home at that point.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's back to real life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Back to real life. Hey, how about we talk about a little golf, though? I guess that's why we're here. No?
I kind of like the other one, but
All right. Well, we're going to go with it.
All right.
So literally, we published our first podcast on Wednesday, roughly, I want to say it was like 11 a.m., somewhere in that range.
Yep.
The next thing on my Instagram feed
Yeah.
was Tiger saying he's going to play in the Farmers Open. So,
I like to think, and I told this to a few people, I like to think it was because of what I said that got him to commit to those couple of tournaments.
He heard it? You
I
think
I
he listened
pushed
to
him.
it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like he listened to it right when
Yeah.
it came out. He's like, well, I guess
what my
I gotta
sources
tell
say.
people. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tiger not only is going to play in the Farmers, but he unloaded a big schedule for the next couple weeks. He's going to be playing the Farmers Insurance Open in San Diego on January 26th to the 29th. He is going to then hop into a plane, head to Dubai, not Abu Dhabi like I kept saying, but Dubai, and play in the Omega Dubai Desert Classic from February 2nd to 5th. Fly back to Southern California, take a week off, back to Southern California, play at Riv at the Genesis Open February 16th and 19th, across the country to Florida to play in the Honda Classic on the 23rd to 26th of February. So I guess my question to you guys is, why?
Well, I mean, first off, the guy hasn't played a schedule like that where he's played back-to-back weeks, off week, back-to-back weeks when he was as healthy as he could be. He didn't play schedules like that. The fact that he's coming back now off after all of his surgeries and whatever he's had and playing more than he ever used to, that's odd. I mean, it's interesting.
It is very odd. I mean, I think this is what it tells me is that the guy feels healthy. Like, I don't think this is
You have
Tiger
to.
of a couple years ago where he was trying to get back as soon as he can to play in the next major, and he wasn't quite there yet. I mean, if he's going to play 4 times in 5 weeks, flying across the globe to do this, I think he's ready to go. I think you're going to see a Tiger Woods that, is going to play some good golf. I truly believe at this time. I would say that we all hoped the last couple times he came back that would happen, but it didn't. I think there's a lot of evidence out there that he will be playing well and he's ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, again, for a guy to go out there and put that out, saying he's playing that many times in that many weeks, I mean, you better be feeling healthy. Because the last thing he wants to do is withdraw from those couple of tournaments after not feeling good after the first few. Like, he doesn't want to do that again. Like, he's going to go out there and he's got to be feeling real good to commit to all that. So I like it.
I mean, me and Sean had a healthy debate last time about why Tiger was choosing the events that he did. I think we were both a little right and both a little wrong. I think we talked about him playing in the events that his sponsors are going to have a say in.
Yeah,
and I think he is playing those. I think that's why he's playing a Riviera. No, that is why he's playing a Riviera.
Yeah.
He never used to. But I think not only is he's going to play in those events, he's playing to win. Like,
I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, my questioning about Tiger's schedule and, the events he had chosen and where his schedule was at the time was, this looks like a guy who's trying to go out and play a couple of events for his sponsors. I mean, you said he was playing the events his sponsors want him to play. I feel like he was playing the events his sponsors wanted him to play because he had to, not because he thought he could go out there and win. But for him to go out there and, again, play at the Farmers, a place that he wins a million times, I mean, that shows me exactly like what I was hoping for, that he feels like he can win, and he's playing events that he knows he can win. Not just for the sponsor money grab, whatever it is that I thought he had, his intentions were prior to.
Yep.
Any interest in actually seeing the Torrey Pines down there or here in LA?
Either
Either one of you?
I've been to the Farmers a couple of times. It's an awesome place to go and watch some golf if you like fog and super cold mornings. No, but after the inevitable delay out there on Thursday, Friday morning, it's a great tournament to go and watch. Can't beat those views.
Chris, I have 2 kids, so I will not be driving down to San Diego to watch a golf tournament.
Chris, I don't have any kids. I'll see you in San Diego.
Alrighty. I wouldn't mind going to the Riviera one.
No, Riv's a place I've never even been to. Heard it was really good to watch. Have you been?
I've been. It's a nice tournament, a great facility. I mean,
It's Riviera.
yeah, right. I don't know how many people out there know what Riviera Country Club's all about. Probably a handful of people don't, and a handful of people do.
Basically,
But
like, you
it's
take the heart of LA and
yeah.
you put a country club in it.
OJ
Yes.
was a member there.
Yeah.
Pre or
Yikes.
post?
Pre.
All right, let's go ahead and that's enough about Tiger. I mean, I think we beat it down last time. I think it all is staying the
Yeah,
same.
and I
so.
think we'll have plenty to talk about once he gets out there on the golf course and starts
Yeah.
playing a few events.
Yeah, it's nice to just keep it updated.
Sounds good. Let's go and roll on into that SBS Tournament of Champions. Talked a little bit about that last time too. How about Justin Thomas taking it down by 3 shots over Hideki Matsuyama on the golfer, not the baseball player Hideki Matsui. Coming in third, tied for third, Jordan Spieth, Pat Perez, and Ryan Moore. A few more shots back. What do you guys think about Thomas's performance?
Other than him trying to give it away in the last couple holes on Sunday, the guy played outstanding. I mean,
67 each day up until Sunday.
I believe so, yeah.
so.
I mean, the guy played great. Hard to say anything negative about how he went out there and performed, other than maybe a couple of
Some hiccups here and there.
hiccups here and there and some attitude things that I think some people aren't the biggest fan of. But
Yeah.
I kind of like to see a little personality out there. But, you know,
My parents didn't understand the whole club throwing thing.
He's kind of got a very annoying resting face, I
Yeah.
would say, when he is
the
when he
guy's
doesn't get a
version
good-
of like the RBF, like
yeah.
the resting, you guys know.
Yeah, he so that kind of bothers me a little bit. He's definitely young, 23 years old. Already he's won 3 times in the PGA Tour. Obviously, I don't think there's much not to like about his golf game.
Yep.
Guy's 150 pounds soaking wet and hitting the ball 400 yards on that golf course. I mean, that's pretty
I mean,
impressive.
to carry golf balls double your weight is fairly impressive.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Pretty
the only
good.
one throwing tantrums out there. I saw a couple other guys.
Yeah.
So, but
He was the
yeah,
only
for
guy on
leader,
camera
for
throwing
all-
real tantrums.
Yeah.
Well, that's
on
because
Sunday.
he was one of the
Yeah.
only guys on camera because he was playing well.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, I think we all agree he played some really good golf this weekend. He did try to throw it away to Hideki. Both mine and Sean's picks to win.
Yeah, that hurt pretty bad. I thought we had a chance.
Yeah, I got a few comments on Hideki and something I noticed. But what do you think about his performance there, Sean?
Hideki's.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's good. He's got a game that, you know, I feel like it's major proof. It's pressure proof. He doesn't have a golf swing that's really. He's got a golf swing that's going to hold up under pressure. He's a guy who's going to go out there and he can do it on Thursday. He can do it on Sunday afternoon, and it doesn't look like anything really phases the guy. I love the move. The guy's just got the most simple. I mean, as aggressive as that golf swing looks, one of the most simple, just turn your body through it kind of a swings that I feel like he can do Sunday at the Masters, Sunday of this tournament, and just go out there and play well no matter what's going on.
I agree with you on his golf swing.
Yeah, you'll mention I didn't talk a whole lot about the putting green.
No, hold on.
Because I know that's where you're going.
Yeah, there was just one observation I had. You know, Hideki, his ball striking's never been an issue. Always been a very good ball striker. His putting always had kind of what held him back, and I think over the last 6 events, 4 wins, 2 second places, his putting has gotten either incrementally better or he's hot. I watched his putting stroke, and I do not like how close he is standing to the golf ball and how bent his arms are.
That's funny that you said. I want to jump in here real quick, Jack. And the guy made a pretty large change in his putting stroke. I mean, from what I can see, just from watching events, haven't read anything about it, haven't seen anything about it, but the guy used to be very wide, hands very low with how he's getting set up to the putter, and now it looks like he's narrowed up a little bit, and it looks like things are a little more free flowing in that stroke. It's not as like blocky and just very, I don't know, it looked very rigid and kind of stiff prior to, and it looks like it's flowing a little bit better now.
I agree, but with him, his arms being so bent and being so close to the ball, his miss is going to be right. And he missed 3 putts inside 5 feet right.
Ones.
That's going to be his miss, and he missed 1 inside 4 feet. He didn't even hit the hole.
There's a lot of guys missing putts from 4 or 5 feet, though. All week long.
He's not going to have to worry about him if he keeps chipping in like he did.
That was so good.
3 chip ins?
So good.
I saw the one for Eagle.
The one that really matters, the one
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, I worry. I think as I watched him play this week, I think he's a very hot golfer right now, and I don't know if it's a long-term change he made with his putting. I think you could see him lose a touch of confidence, and if he starts missing them right like that at the Masters, who knows? I don't think his change was a long-term, forever change. I think he's hot right now. That's just my observation, and I definitely think I'm wrong, or it could be wrong. But
I agree with you for the most part. I mean, the guy hits the ball good enough to, be on tour for a long time coming, and there's nothing needs to change there. But that putting can get a little hot and cold, and we'll see if it sticks.
Yep.
Sticking for a handful of events, that's for sure. So it's working so far.
Yeah, heading down to third place, we had an interesting conversation about Jordan Spieth last week.
We sure did.
I don't think the message has changed at all. I mean, the guy, I don't know if he made the most birdies in the field, but it sure felt like it.
I looked it up, and he did.
Okay.
No. I mean, Justin Thomas, as the winner, went out there, made 25 birdies. Hideki made 24 birdies. And Jordan Spieth making 27 birdies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
did Spieth have the lowest round of the whole tournament on Sunday?
60, was it 3 or 4?
He tied 65. 65 on Sunday.
Oh, 73, of course.
But he tied the low round of the weekend. I think that was the story of his 2016 season, is he had too many holes, too many rounds where he just made too many bogeys or above.
Yeah.
In 2015 when he won all those events and played great, he wasn't making those. So, whether that started in the Masters last year on 12, who knows if that was the melting point for him.
A little kickstart in that direction.
But, that is the type of golfer that he will get hot. He is going to win some events this year because he's not going to have those meltdown holes. But this one he happened to, and still came in third place out of 32 players. So, we'll see what 2017 has in store for him. But
just didn't hit enough greens.
Yeah,
and the guy rolled it well enough to win by a lot. To win by a handful, the guy could have touched his performance last year.
Yeah.
If he hit a few more greens, when the guy took 11th out in the field, greens regulation, and took third.
Yeah.
I mean, if that guy jumps that number up a little bit and rolls in a few more putts, he's in pretty good shape.
I think that's just the opposite of what we just talked about with Matsuyama. I mean, the guy doesn't hit it good enough.
So are you trying to say that Matsuyama and Spieth should have a child, and that kid would be the greatest golfer to ever walk the face of the earth? Come on,
possibly.
Now. Best ball striker, great putter.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think two men can have a child, but I guess
details.
Maybe one of them had a sister.
Details, Jack.
We'll go there.
What about you guys' your dark horse picks?
Ooh, I think my dark horse pick was already mentioned.
Ooh, your
if you haven't,
came in time for third.
T3 for Mr. Pat Perez, Mr. Vacation all the time.
You know what he did win though?
Best hair? Yeah. So, I mean, on top of having the best hair out there, again, the guy that I called playing pretty well, coming back off his injury, had a win, going to go out there. Jack said he's already on vacation, so what is a tournament in Hawaii? It's a vacation, and he went out there, played well, and the guy, I feel like, is playing with house money.
Yeah.
He's just going out there,
Look
free rolling,
yeah,
hanging out, enjoying his time.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, my dark horse was Corey Gribble, and I think, first off, I didn't know he was left-handed.
I'll show you the research that Jack does.
I didn't know that. I saw all the scores, and I see him actually hit a golf ball. He struggled from tee to green. I think he was first in strokes gained putting for the week.
Wow.
But he struggled tee to green. So if he's going to really compete over this season, he's got to clean that up. But the guy has played, I think, 5 or 6 events in his PGA Tour career, and he's come in the top 15 4 times. So that's not a bad start to his rookie year.
I think I didn't fall off the leaderboard until Saturday, right? I mean, he was obviously up there on Thursday.
He's up there
on Friday. I mean, he still finished.
He finished top 15.
But,
yeah. He was just fine. He didn't come into the top 5, but I think he showed well. Like we said, all these guys had some guaranteed money to start their season. So I think that was just fine, and we'll see how he goes moving forward. Chris threw down some money on the ponies or on the golfers. Who'd you pick this week there, Chris?
I went with both of you guys' picks. There was Spieth and Matsuyama. Boy, was I
almost
looking good there for a while.
What does second and third place pay?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Shoot.
So what you're trying to tell me, Chris, is you made $0, made no money.
If there was a bet, like when you go to the horse track, when you could do the
win, place, and show.
Yeah. I definitely would have.
Yeah.
We had the place and show down.
I had the place and show down.
You didn't tell us what the rules were.
I don't know why that's not an option.
It was a good effort, though. It was a good effort.
Yeah, those are great picks. I kind of wish I would have threw down on Justin Thomas. He was at plus 1,500 to win the tournament. That would have been paid off.
Don't we
nicely.
all?
Oh,
yeah, right. After the tournament's over, it all seems so easy.
Yeah, it's also. But it's okay. It was it was cool to watch those. Well, before I fell asleep.
I was gonna say, if you hadn't fallen
to see
asleep,
that
you'd have been
I was so excited to see the meltdown too.
Right.
I was like, oh, this is my chance.
Any other storylines from this weekend you guys want to talk about? I got one more for you, but go ahead if you got any.
No, I mean, nothing big. A couple of big names out there. The Jason Days, the Dustin Johnsons, Patrick Reeds all played well. Nothing really huge to talk about.
Yeah, kind of. I guess kind of speaking of Jason Day, I'd mentioned last week that he hadn't played golf in 2.5 months.
Yeah.
He came out and said he hadn't really even touched a club.
Oh, wow.
For that time, and I was worried how that back was doing, and I think he showed that his back is okay. Obviously playing 4 rounds, shooting I think it was 12 or 13 under par, somewhere in there. I think the guy looked fine. I think he was rusty. Rolled in some good ones. Didn't
expected.
make all. Yeah, so. I think the worry about him being maybe hurt going into this year, I think that's over. I don't even have to worry about it. And I think as we kind of roll through this West Coast swing that's about to come up, I think he'd be just fine heading into Florida, heading into the majors this year. I don't think there's anything to worry about.
The real question about Jason Day, though, is how did he look in his new Nike apparel? What do you think?
I think he looked like $10 million.
That's right. That's right. Signing that big contract.
That's right. You see all the ads everywhere. There was Jason Day. He was everywhere this weekend.
Nothing but smiles.
Right?
Why wouldn't he be? They're trying to replace Tiger. They're trying to get that Tiger, like everything that's in every store is Tiger, and it's kind of run its course. So you got to have a new face.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. Yeah. I think it's $100 shirt that he was wearing is gonna do just fine. And,
yeah. My issue with him, though, is Thursday he comes out wearing those red pants, white shirt, red hat, and, where do you go from there? Like you can't step up from white shirt, red pants. You had to tone it down a little bit. Come on, that's a weekend outfit.
Yeah, well, he can't wear the red on the weekend.
Ooh.
He's setting it up.
He did wear, I believe it was a red shirt on Saturday.
Did he?
It was very Tiger-esque.
I didn't see what he wore on Sunday, but I wonder if that'll be his Sunday deal.
Yeah, it's because he wasn't on TV a whole lot on Sunday.
I was gonna say, I didn't know.
It happens. Let's go ahead and take a quick break, guys. We'll get a message from one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back to talk about the Sony Open, kind of preview that, do a new segment we like to call Feel versus Real, some teaching tips, and much more. Message from our sponsors. This is our second show. We don't have any sponsors. Hey, but if you want to sponsor this show, feel free to tag us. But we're gonna plug a few things that we have some interest in. Something that I think everyone would have a good time with is the Arcus Players Club at Los Robles Greens. A little biased, but it's a great program. $49 a month that gets you unlimited range balls for the entire month. It also gets you some playing specials, $20 after 12 p.m. So if you're looking to get back into golf, looking to do a few things, that is a program that is for you. Great deal. And for more information, visit www.losroblesgreens.com. And we are back. Coming up this Thursday through Sunday, the Sony Open out in Honolulu, played at Waialae Country Club. I would say in terms of golf courses for the PGA Tour, it is one of the, I would probably say one of the easier ones out there. I've never played the golf course, so I'm just kind of throwing it out there. But you do see a lot of rookies play well. This is an event to kind of get those guys out there. You don't see a ton of big names. Believe it or not, this is actually probably one of the best fields they've had in a long time. I was going to
say, I didn't think this is a big tournament at all. I mean, there's one of those ones that you don't really watch, you don't pay attention to a whole lot. There's plenty of big names playing in it this year.
Yeah, we got Jordan Spieth is coming over from Maui, going to go play. Hideki Matsuyama.
So trying to extend that vacation.
Well, yeah, right. This week's winner, Justin Thomas, is playing in it. And a few other big names. So that's more than they've had in the past. I don't think you see a whole lot of top 10 guys playing this event.
Yeah.
They kind of get back to the West Coast to get ready for the events in California and Arizona. So I think this is going to be an interesting tournament to watch. At least on the West Coast, it's a prime time event.
I love that, right? Getting home from work and watching the finish. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So kind of last year's champion, Fabian Gomez, also in the field. 2014, 2015 back-to-back champion Jimmy Walker in the field. I would say that's kind of got to be the guy to beat.
Jimmy Walker?
Yeah.
I mean, you're taking a guy who won it back-to-back years, and then you also throw in the Jordan Spieth, Hideki, Justin Thomas combo.
Yep.
I don't think it's the craziest thing to say their leaderboard could look exactly like it did this last week.
Yep.
With those 3 guys up there, and then throw in a Jimmy Walker who played pretty well on his own, in his own right. But I think that leaderboard could look pretty close to the same with those guys.
Yep, I tend to agree with you. Full field, I think 150 some players playing this one, so it's a little bit, a little bit more. What am I looking for? There's more people in the event.
Of course,
there's a cut. So the guys that shot over par in the Tournament of Champions don't get to play on the weekend this time. But I think you're going to see a lot of faces you've never heard. Got the entire field for Chris.
How do you hear about their faces, Jack? Tell me more about that. You hear about their faces?
Yeah, on TV.
Oh, so their faces? A lot of faces you've never
I
seen
guess
before?
you see them, don't you?
Yeah, you don't hear about faces.
No.
You hear names.
You hear names
and
you attribute them to faces.
Gotcha.
Got it.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
so you hear faces and you see names.
yes.
Got it. Okay.
Perfect.
So, anyways, what we're getting back to is you're going to see a lot of new people out there that you maybe people coming off the wed.com from last year.
Yes.
People that haven't gotten into every event.
Yeah. People like Wesley Bryan who spent 15 minutes on the web.com tour and now is playing in tour events.
Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty good.
You win 3 times, you get to move on up.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Fast track.
Yeah, right. So, what do you think, Sean? Who do you looking at the field? Who do you think has the best shot of winning this week?
Again, I'm going to go with what I said earlier. I got a pretty. It wouldn't be crazy for me to have the same top 3 that we had this time. I don't want to pick Hideki Matsuyama again, but I'm going to.
All right.
The guy's just playing solid enough that it is what it is. I don't see Justin Thomas winning again. For that guy being out there winning a tour event, getting on the second tour event in how many weeks? 3-4 weeks or so,
Yep.
whatever it was. HSBC, is that what he won?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that one.
I don't see him going back to back. But I think he's going to go out there and play well. And Jordan Spieth, we know how I feel about him.
Yep.
So I'm going with Hideki again.
All right.
With the other guys playing pretty well.
Yeah, I kind of foreshadowed mine, but I think Jimmy Walker is going to take it down this week, just because he's played so well there in the past. I mean, Matsuyama, I don't know if he played last year or not. I don't think he did. Spieth didn't play there last year. These guys kind of, they're playing the Tournament of Champions, kind of making a 2-week out of it, getting not too much travel in between events. I like Jimmy Walker. He's played so well there before. Past performance isn't always an indicator of future performance, but I think on a golf course like this, I think it is. No, yeah, having some good vibes helps out.
Yeah.
Who do you got for a dark horse?
Can I do the same thing again? Can I pick Pat Perez again, or can I go real dark?
No, it's
can I
not
go
dark
real
horse.
dark?
That's
still a dark horse. The guy's he's over 50th in the world. Well, maybe not now actually with that win,
right?
but no. What if I went real deep and I went with Wesley Bryan? The guy who he's just winning everything he looks at.
Right, just storming on.
Yeah, just going to come out there and act like he's not playing against Jordan Spieth, act like he's not playing against Justin Thomas, and just go out there and play.
I do not see odds on that guy there.
Yeah, good. That's because they don't even know who he is.
He is part of the field.
Yeah, he would be in a field bet, and that would be a strong bet.
That's a plus 220 for this week on the whole field there.
I don't like those pluses. Who do you got for your dark horse, Jack?
So I'm gonna go like kind of dark and then like super in the far.
That was mine.
But a guy who played really well last year as a whole. Had a rough end of the year, but Kevin Na,
love me some Kevin Na,
Mr. 15. The guy just kind of is in the top 20 all the time, and I think a guy that's always in the top 20, he squeaks out a win here and there. So he's kind of like the mid-range dark horse for me.
This sounds like one of those events that he would win.
I think we talked about some Southern California boys last week, but a guy named JJ Spahn, way down there, he's a rookie. He grew up on the mini tours in Southern California. Yeah. I think he finished third in the web.com final standings last year. So obviously he gets to be on the PGA Tour this year. I think, not that I'm predicting a win or anything, but maybe a made cut, maybe some money made. I think that's a name that you might see on the leaderboard a little bit more this year. Right. But that's way down there.
I like it.
Yep. Chris is our gambling expert.
He's our odds man.
Yeah.
Where are we at, Chris?
I'm the odds man. Well, they pretty much have what you guys called for the odds. They got Spieth at plus 600 for the best odds. Hideki Matsuyama
And
plus
Chris, real
700.
quick, when you say plus 600, plus 700, let's give a little bit more to the people out there.
Right.
Who aren't degenerates.
Yeah,
That's
And,
right.
yeah.
So what does plus 600 mean?
If you threw down $100 on Jordan Spieth and he wins this tournament, you would win $600.
Got it.
So you could say that that's the worst bet in the world right now, right? Jordan Spieth
Right.
at plus 600, the worst bet you could ever ask for.
So in terms of that's a 6-to-1 odds guy, right?
Basically.
So I mean that's just a different way of hearing the same thing. Jordan Spieth is 6-to-1 to win this tournament. I will say before Chris gets into his picks, the favorites to win are not good bets. No matter if they're going to win or not, no matter if you knew it, because you're
Tiger
betting
in
6
his prime.
Yeah.
You were like on the opposite end of it. Like
He's
you were having to pay
6-to-1
2-1.
to beat 150 other golfers.
Yeah.
I mean that's terrible.
That's not good at all.
So if you had a strong feeling, if it was like Jordan Spieth at the Masters and he was like 6-to-1, maybe you should bet that one.
Bet that. Yeah, see how that turns out for you this year.
But so that's kind of like a little inside baseball for everybody out there. So who do you got, Chris?
I actually like your pick with Jimmy Walker, obviously with the history, and he's at 20-1, and then
20-1's not bad.
No, that's
plus
kind of
2,000.
That's kind of the sweet spot where you get good odds on your
Yeah,
money.
I'm taking 21 on Jimmy Walker.
Yeah.
Way more than I'm taking 6-1 on Spieth. That's for sure.
You had your boy Pat Perez with the hair at plus. I'm sorry. Let me get back to that. 40-1.
40-1 with that mullet is beautiful.
And
do you get to bet on how much that lovely locks are flow in the wind? It's fantastic.
Kevin Na at 50-1, which was not a bad idea at all.
Is that what he could make on a hole, or is that his odds? 50? I think I could make a 50.
That would be incredible.
That guy's my favorite. That video, by the way, if you guys have not seen Kevin Na making a 15, YouTube that. Kevin Na makes a 15. I believe actually there's plenty of videos that are calling it the worst golfer in PGA Tour history makes a 15. That's what some of the YouTube videos are titled. Go and watch that and enjoy.
Yeah, worst golfer. He's still on the tour.
That's the non-golfer filling out the YouTube
kidding.
title, calling it the worst golfer in PGA Tour, worst hole in PGA Tour history.
Sometimes things happen.
Yeah.
I know he's made double digits on the PGA Tour more than once.
More than once. Him and John Daly. It's
But
fantastic.
I would say that I'm actually going to put my money on Zach Johnson at 50-1. It seems a little
TJ,
more comfortable.
50-1.
So
Especially noting on our that he's a past champ.
Yeah, past champ. I think it was 2010. Coming in off of I wouldn't say a down year. He won the British Open in 2015. Not the greatest year, but I kind of like that there, Chris. Now I will say I love that pick. 50-1, getting that kind of money. I will say for all of you out there thinking about throwing down a golf bet, not the best thing to do with your money.
This is more of a fun.
Yeah, it's a fun thing.
bet.
We're talking We're talking $10.
Yeah, so maybe
here.
like
This
$10
is,
to win. So at that $10 bet, you win 500 on that.
Yeah, something like that.
That's something to keep you interested.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You win one of those, you're playing the whole season. $10 bets.
How about someone down there that's got a big odds? I'm talking 101 plus.
I don't have that actually in this
No?
book. I've only got up to Hudson Swafford at
Who
50-1. We
Hudson
don't go any further than that.
So you're telling me Zach
Webb
Johnson
Simpson.
and Hudson Swafford are both off of 51?
Not only that,
50-1,
Webb
excuse me?
Simpson. We already mentioned Kevin Na, Ryan Palmer, Keegan Bradley, and Jason Duffner all at 50-1.
Big Duff out there? He played decent. He had a couple. That guy comes out looking like a different shape every time he plays golf, right? Completely different guy this last week.
I think his weight is based on mood.
That's what I'm saying.
know?
Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
The guy comes out and I'm like, who is this again?
The
Wearing a
many
visor?
moods of Jason Duffner.
Jason Duffner. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and coin
incredible.
that. So that's kind of a good segue into something else we like to talk about. I don't know who out there plays fantasy football. Kind of a big thing right now.
I know I do.
Yeah, right. But they do have quite a few fantasy golf games out there, and it's worth going and taking a look, see if you like it. A lot of free stuff. If you were wanting to find something in the middle between degenerate gambling, just placing a wager on one person, and a free thing that doesn't matter. DraftKings.com's got a pretty good a game to play. You pick 6 golfers with a salary cap, and you kind of let it go and see what happens. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. If anybody out there who plays it, here's some good analysis from someone that knows a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit. And we'll kind of go through that. If you haven't tried it, I would suggest at least looking into it. They got some free stuff on there too, so give it a go. I think I have to start with that with Jimmy Walker. He is a salary cap of $9,900 based on I believe a $50,000 cap. For me, he's a must start because he's my pick to win. To give you a kind of a barometer, Jordan Spieth is at 11,500. So to get that kind of value off of someone who I think is going to win, for me, he's a must start. Between Hideki being 11,000 and Jordan Spieth being 11,500, I think it's kind of pick 'em, what you like.
It's kind of a toss up there.
But to me, and just to notice, you cannot, or just to note, you cannot play all three of those guys and stay under the salary cap. So you have to kind of pick two if you want to go that route. Justin Thomas being at 10,500, I think that's out of those four, you need to play two if you're looking to win money this week. Yeah. Some tournaments you can go kind of a lot of big names and then some lower names, lower price guys.
Yep.
Some tournaments you got to kind of stay in the middle and play a bunch of kind of in the middle of pack guys. This is not that tournament to do it. I would suggest picking some.
You got a lot of nobody's out there playing. So
two or three of those four, you could actually play Thomas, Walker, and one of the either Matsuyama and Spieth in the same lineup if you're willing to go. Super dark horse picks with your bottom three. So I would suggest going at least two of those guys. Some guys middle of the pack that I like. One of them, Zach Johnson, Mr. 50-1. He's 8,500. And then Kevin Na, we've already talked about him, but also he's 7,700. That's middle of the pack. If you're trying to kind of fill out the rest of your lineup, you got some extra money, that'd be good. For kind of under 6,000 or under 7,000, between 6,000 and 7,000 is the lowest you can go. Wesley Bryan at 6,700, or my man lefty Corey Gribble at 6,800. Those would be two guys that I think
the new lefty,
right? The new lefty.
We found out is left-handed.
I wonder if he switched for this last tournament.
Think
he goes back and forth.
I think he listened to the podcast and was like, "Guess what? I'm gonna go out there play left-handed.
Yeah.
Screw Jack all up."
No kidding, right? So they're kind of at the high 6,000s, and then two Southern California boys. If you're really looking to go minimum salary, Brandon Hagee, we talked about last week, guy hits a mile. Anybody hits it a mile has got a shot. You know what I mean? So he's 6,100, and JJ Spawn at the minimum of 6,000. I think if you want to play a lot of high name guys, those would be two guys to look at. I will say at the bottom, with 150 people in the golf tournament, go find a name that is random and you like, and
close your eyes and pick a guy that has a cool name like Seamus Power.
He's 6,400. So
is he?
Is
he playing in this event?
He is playing in this event.
There we go.
Why don't we? You should have just picked him to win.
Gosh.
Just go
Can
out
he
on
be my
a
dark
win.
horse? My new dark horse. And by the way,
Done.
to clarify what I talked about last podcast, he didn't play well in the Open. He didn't play in the Open. He didn't play in anything. He played in the Olympics, and that's where I saw his name.
Okay.
So that was where Seamus Power came from.
What country do you play for?
Oh, I have no idea. Cambodia? What are you talking about?
Okay.
Ireland.
Okay, Ireland.
I don't know if it was Ireland or if it was Northern Ireland.
It's not Northern Ireland. No.
Come on now.
No, it is not two different places.
Okay.
Northern Ireland doesn't field a Olympic team. And that's why Rory was all up in arms. Yeah, Rory was all up in arms because he wanted to play for Northern Ireland, but he couldn't.
And they let him play for Ireland or England, and he couldn't pick.
And he didn't want to pick.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of come out and talked about that, going that may be
story
the
last
real
couple of
reason
days.
he didn't want to play in the Olympics.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so he felt some resentment towards the Olympic Committee for
Yeah.
making him pick one of those two when he couldn't play for
That makes sense.
his real country.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit.
Yeah.
Chris is going to talk a little bit about manners later. How Rory's way too nice. But
that was the
like,
meanest
he's
thing he ever said was he was upset with the Olympic Committee.
Yeah,
the
no
meanest
kidding.
thing that came out of his mouth.
And he said it 3 months later. You know what I mean? Like, come on. So guy's not out there trying to ruffle any feathers.
No, apparently not.
So that kind of wraps it up for DraftKings, and kind of, if you want to give it a go, try it out. If not, no worries. We'll talk about it a little more in weeks to come. And if you want to call me an idiot for doing that, that's fine. That's fine too.
That's fine too.
All right, so we're gonna roll into a new segment. We talked a little bit about this idea of feel versus real.
It's
Sean,
my favorite thing.
It is, and kind of a little backstory. When you hear a golf instructor or someone in golf talking about it, feel is kind of what you're doing, or kind of what you think you're doing. So if you think you're doing a certain thing in the golf swing or your putting stroke, and you try to fix it, that's kind of your feel. That doesn't always coincide with what is really happening. So you may be for some of the more advanced golfers, coming a little too far inside, you think, and you feel like, well, if I'm coming too far inside, then I need to take it a little bit more from the outside. Well, you were actually might have been coming from the outside, and now you're taking it more from the outside. So that's kind of a feel versus real. Go ahead and take a little bit, Sean.
And it's just one of those things that, with teaching, with golf tech, and, having things be measured, having things go through motion measurement, having things on video, just giving all my golf lessons that way, the feeling real epidemic is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of the easiest ways to think about it is just an alignment thing. Like, you're out there on the golf course and you're lining up to a shot and you have Joe Blow behind you saying, hey, you're lined up 50 yards right. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, you are. I'm standing behind you. I'm looking at it. What you feel like's going on and what's really going on are just, sometimes they are so far apart. It's just mentally to try and explain it to somebody and try and, get your point across that, what they think is going on. Like, your eyes lie to you a lot of the time when you're out there.
Yep.
And, what you're used to maybe isn't what's really going on. It's a big deal for golf instruction and just out there playing golf at all.
Yep.
Sounds like a lot of people could use that video lesson.
That's right, Chris.
What?
Including you.
Hey, I did that with you guys. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, you ever get that, like, take a guy's swing on video and play it back, and they're like, oh, what is that?
Every time I see my swing on video.
Who'd you put on here? This is not me. Guy wearing the same clothes as me, but that's it.
Yeah. So this segment's going to be Chris is going to throw out some statements to us, and then we are going to decide if that is feel or if that is real. You ready to rock, Chris?
Let's go for it. I'm not
You'll all
Chris,
figure it
but
out.
yeah.
I know Sean's ready.
Because we're the ones that are gonna give our opinions on the comment.
Yeah, Chris is going to ask us.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I need to be ready. He
needs to be ready.
He's reading questions.
I got you.
I need to prepare myself mentally for this. But yes, Jack, I am ready. Thanks for asking. Go ahead and ask Chris.
It's good
I'm
to
ready
know.
too.
It's good to know that people might already recognize our voice already. That they might have thought that was me for a second. We might have been able to let that slide.
Not that smooth talking, Chris. We know you.
Either way, Jordan Spieth visited Augusta during December and birdied the 12th hole both times he played it. Feel versus real. Do you believe him when he says the demons are gone?
Jack, I'm gonna let you start on this one because I think I know how you feel about it. But let's hear it.
That is, I mean, as much as I think Jordan Spieth will play well the Masters, that is definitely feel. The guy's not going to get over making a 7 on the hole, dropping a 60-yard chip shot 40 yards into the water on his fourth shot. You don't get over that just going out and play there a willy-nilly round.
Like,
you know,
go out there and you play that and you birdie that hole 50 more times before the Masters. And guess what happens on Thursday when he's on, or Thursday, it takes Sunday when he goes out there and he's on the 12th hole.
20 years from now when he's still playing the Masters, he is going to remember those shots that he hit in 2016. Yep. So, no, I don't believe him when he says the demons are gone.
No. Probably not hurting him to go out there and play
a
couple of rounds and get a couple of scores or get a couple of shots that he can visualize when he's out there on 12 again. But I don't care who you are. No. That doesn't leave you.
I will say he probably – I mean, I don't know how much anybody followed what he said after the Masters last year, but, he tried to hit a cut into that hole last year and made a mistake. He shouldn't have. And maybe that is what he's learned. Maybe he's going to go out there and not try to do that again and drop it in the water on the right side. But he will still be thinking that every single time he plays that hole from now until the end of his career.
And it's not the craziest thing in the world to hit a ball in the water on that hole. Like, it's not unheard of. It happens all the time. It's happening every day, multiple times a day in that tournament. But if he hits another ball in the water, I don't care if it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and he has to drop a golf ball, that's the one I'm waiting for. Yeah, like, that's the one I want to see because that's not a miss club. That's not a misjudge.
And he has the option of dropping it where he did or hitting a ball off the tee again.
Do we have odds on what his options are on what he's going to do?
No kidding, right? If I'm him, I'm hitting a ball off the tee again.
I'm going back to the next tee and I'm teeing off with driver before I hit wedging on that.
Yeah, right.
There's no question. Be knees knocking together trying to hit that shot. Oh, at least I thought you were going a different route on that one, Jack, but we're on the same page. That's going to be hard to. I don't think any real golfer feels the same way we do. It's hard to erase that.
Yep.
Jimmy Walker had a 42-inch driver in play this week. Feel versus real. More players will start playing shorter drivers.
I think we need to clarify that with most drivers come out at 45 inches.
45.5 now 45.5. For the most part.
I would probably. I think I read this, and we're not going to fact check it, but most of the guys on tour are playing somewhere around a 44-inch driver, 44 and a half. The reason why you have a longer driver is to hit it farther. These guys don't have any problem hitting it farther, and the shorter the driver
speed
is,
other ways.
yeah, the shorter the driver, the more control you should have over it. So, Jimmy Walker, I think, without being in his own head, he said, I can hit this driver far enough, and it's going to give me more control. That's why he put a 42-inch driver in the bag. Sean, do you think more people are going to do that moving forward?
I don't know if more of the public is going to do it moving forward. I think they should. I don't want to blow out, all the big name companies out there, but one of the things that they sell you when they're telling you it's 5 yards longer, it's 10 yards longer, is they're putting another half inch on the end of it, putting another quarter inch on the end of it, getting you a mile an hour or two more of speed. But what you're losing with that couple extra yards in speed or in distance is left and right and just hitting it all over the map. Not a huge speed loss when you take it down a couple of, I don't want to say a couple of inches, but when you take it down to, I think the 42-inch driver from Walker is probably a little extreme, but a lot of guys playing 44-inch drivers, something cut down a little bit. I know both mine and Jack's drivers are both shorter than normal.
Yep. I think I'm 44 and a half.
But is it 44 and a half? Yeah, mine, yeah. So whatever it is, Jimmy Walker, dead last. No, not dead last. Actually, what was he? 183 out of 185 last year in driving accuracy.
Yeah.
That's time to make a change.
Yeah, right.
So 48% throughout his year last year. It's time to play around with some stuff and try and see and get something that works for you. Hit 71% of fairways this week. So obviously made a little bit of a difference.
The fairways are like 80 billion yards wide.
Hey, let's let him have that. Let him have that 71% and just let him roll with it. Bump that confidence up.
Right.
But in his words, he loses 5 to 20 yards. And 5 to 20 yards, whatever. That's not a big deal for most of those guys out there.
Yep.
I think it's a great thing. I think a lot more guys should be doing it. Yep. I think a lot of guys on tour are doing it, but again, like I said, the big name sponsors aren't the ones. They don't want guys pushing that out there. They don't want guys telling people that.
In following in that feel versus real, I think it's real that people should.
Yep.
I think it's feel that people will. I don't think they're going to, because most people don't have. They're picking a driver off the rack and they're hitting it.
I think that's one of those little secrets of the pros right there. Is a lot of those guys are not playing 45.5-inch drivers.
No,
it's not happening.
I would recommend to the public out there that it would be a good idea to play a shorter driver. If you have that option, you could take your club down to local club fitter or pro and kind of have that thing cut down.
There's some club making stuff that goes into that with, cutting down drivers and making them a little bit stiffer. So talk to whoever's around you.
I wouldn't take a hacksaw and just take it off yourself. I would go ahead and take it to someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'll put this back then.
But if you're interested in something like that, go see someone who's knowledgeable in that. I think it would help your golf game quite a bit, being a little more accurate off the tee. If you're losing, 5% on a 200-yard drive.
Yep.
I need someone to do math for me.
Yep. No, again.
You're not losing that much. How about that?
It's not that much. But really what it comes down to, and, hitting drivers solid, I tell my students all the time, like, before swing speed, before anything else, is just hitting it in the center of the club face. Yep. And if something a little bit shorter is going to help you hit it in the center of the club face, that's how you're going to get the most out of your driver. Once we have that part kind of under control, then we'll work on some stuff that's going to get you a few more miles an hour, a little bit more speed, whatever it is. But you got to hit it reasonably solid first. And with a huge 2x4 most guys are swinging, it's hard to hit it in the center of the face.
Definitely agree.
Justin Thomas's win at Kapalua is a sign of a great season to come. Feel versus real. What do you guys think?
Oh man, I kind of liked Justin Thomas this week. I wasn't the biggest. I'm not going to say I wasn't a fan of him prior to this week, but I think the guy's game is solid. Hits the ball. Kind of a trend you'll start to see here with top players in the world. Your Dustin Johnsons, your Jason Days, and now your Justin Thomases. They hit the ball a straight mile in the air, and they hit it a long way. I believe Justin Thomas is going to overtake Jason Day as one of the highest golf ball hitters on tour with all of his golf clubs. And it's, the guy's game is strong. Every facet of his game is good. I think it's going to be the sign of a pretty good season to come. Squeak out another win or so, a couple of reasonable finishes in a couple of major tournaments, but I don't think he's going to have a great season. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a major season. I don't think it's going to be a multiple, having 3 or 4 more wins this year, but I think it's going to be a sign of a pretty good season to come.
Yeah, no kidding. Hitting the ball a long way on the 17th hole on Sunday. He's got 226 yards into it. It's downhill. I get it. He's hitting 7-iron. You know what I mean?
After hitting it, 380 off the tee, 390?
Yeah, so hitting the ball a long way definitely helps.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
We just talked about hitting a shorter driver to gain control. I mean, those guys are hitting the ball 350 yards at the tee and hitting it in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah.
So if you can do that, go and swing a 50-inch driver. But in terms of him having a great season, I kind of agree with you there. I think it's more of a feel than it is a real.
Yeah.
He has won 3 times on the PGA Tour, and they're all roughly the same golf course. He won in, I think, Mayakoba. No, not Mayakoba. He won in Malaysia twice.
Yep.
The same golf course. Very hilly, very island feel. He wins at Plantation, which is very, very hilly with the island feel. Could I see him doing well this week at the Sony? Yeah. Same kind of island golf. Not as hilly, but, same kind of.
Short course at 7,000?
7,044. It's a par 70, so it's kind of deceivingly not as short as you'd think. But in terms of tour standards, that is a pretty short golf course. So yeah, where does the length help him as much as it does on a really, really long golf course? Maybe not. But I think he is where he can play well, at least right now at 23 years old, is still limited. I don't think he can go out on every golf course and do what he did this week. I will say one that is very similar, maybe not island golf, but very hilly, is the Masters. Augusta has a lot of slopes. You got to be able to hit some side hill lies, downhill lies. He actually played well there last year. I kind of like his chances in the Masters this year.
Not the worst call in the world there. Yeah.
But in terms of having a great season, I can't imagine him having more than a couple wins. I don't see him winning a major.
Yeah,
so
which is still a good season.
Still a good season.
Great.
Yeah, I
For
think,
a guy at 23 years old, that's a fantastic season.
But to break through, be a top 10 golfer, win a major, I don't think that's what we're looking at, even though he won this one.
Teaching tip.
All right, today's tip is something I like to call practicing in partners. I think the people here at the table, I'm not sure everybody listening at home, played a lot of team sports growing up. Golf is not a team sport. It is about the exact opposite of a team sport. So you're out there on your own. You decide when you want to practice. You decide when you want to wake up early. You decide when you want to play golf. It's a little chilly. I mean, it's winter right now. A little chilly outside. It's like
it's chilly here for us in California.
All right. So it's snowy other places.
Yeah, there we
but go. I mean, you don't have the same drive, same push when you're by yourself. So something I would suggest, especially in this winter time, even into the spring and summer, is finding someone that's kind of the same-ish level golfer of you, that has the same interest in it, that wants to have the same goals, and practice together. It's a lot easier to say no to practice when it's just you. But when someone else is out there looking to do it too, and now you're letting that person down when it's you're not feeling it that day, you're probably going to more often than not go do it when it's not as convenient and it doesn't feel as good. And that's what's going to make you better. It's so easy to kind of fall away from this game and stop trying to get better and stop practicing. And as soon as you stop getting better, you stop having as much fun. You know what I mean?
And it's January 9th right now. How many of you guys have quit your New Year's resolutions of going to the gym?
I actually just started mine
Did
today,
you?
actually.
It's a late start?
I always do that.
You and Jack with this party, you guys are on the late start
for
the New Year run?
The New Year didn't start till this weekend.
All right, well, fine. Well, apparently I was off. But no, it's the same thing as going to the gym. No one's there to tell you have to go. No one's there to tell you that, if you're not going with a partner, you're not doing something with somebody else is holding you accountable for it, it's real easy just to not do it.
Yep, and it's also someone there to help you with that feel versus real when you're aligned 50 yards to the right. And they can look back and go, hey, you know what? You're not doing that right.
They can shoot a little video of you and, you can check out some things, whatever it is. But on that note, did you do the same thing I did back in high school when you were playing, or you with your buddies, Chris? My dad would drop me off at the golf course, me and my buddy, and we would just sit there and hit chips and putts and screw around and hit balls all day long. And it was like, I enjoyed practicing with it, turn it into a little competition, try and, work on some things, hit some shots, and make it fun. It makes it fun when you're out there practicing.
I'm going to be quite honest, Sean. I actually didn't start playing golf till 23 when I worked with you at Sunset.
It's till 23?
Yeah.
Wow.
Justin Thomas has won 3 times in the PGA Tour at 23. How does it make you feel, Chris?
Not too bad. I think I still got some time.
You still have a chance?
I look 23, so.
Senior Tour?
Hey, it's possible. I've heard of this. There's crazy movies about that kind of stuff out there. Maybe I'll just write this one.
That's why they're movies, Chris.
Right.
Based on not a true story.
Yeah, so just to wrap that up, I think having someone else with the same, they should have the same goals as you, the same caliber
skill
goal.
level.
Yeah. I wouldn't go out there and pick someone who's a 20 handicap and someone who's a 2. Probably wouldn't put those two together. But if you can find someone in that range that has the same goals and wants to get better like you do, I would suggest that highly to kind of give yourself some outside motivation, not just that internal motivation that we need as golfers.
Agreed. I like it.
All right, guys. I guess we've rambled on enough, don't you think? How do you think that one went?
I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I think it went reasonable.
Right?
Yeah, it was reasonable.
That was pretty good. I
was not bored.
No?
No, I thought it was good. I thought it really went well.
Sounds good. Well, we hope to keep doing this for all you guys listening out there. I am Jack Swisher. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Jack Swisher Golf. Please go do that. That helps us out quite a bit. Sean, where can we follow you?
Sean Paul PGA on Instagram as of right now, working on the Facebook and Twitter thing, and we'll
social media
get there.
game's lacking, buddy. You need to pick
but
that
Twitter's on there. You can find me as Sean Paul PGA on Twitter. I'm just gonna be a whole bunch of nothing as of right now. I'm working on it.
Where will we find you, Chris?
Cookie.crisp.via. I will be posting my picks probably on Thursday morning.
So just go ahead and go to mine and Sean's page and then go and find Chris. That'd be a lot easier than trying to type that in there.
Yeah. And if you feel like losing money, that's when to check Chris's page.
Yeah, right?
I'm the average Joe of the show.
So what do you guys think about Snapchat real quick before we go?
Snapchat?
Am I too old for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
you need like a 13-year-old girl.
Instagram's got video now. You're good.
Yeah.
I think we should go ahead. No Snapchat. I think that if you take
Snapchat.
anything from this podcast, just say no to Snapchat.
Say no. Yeah, I like it.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We will be back hopefully next week giving you some more mediocre advice.
With more money.